I might disappear because I've got a dodgy hip at the moment, so I'm finding it difficult to sit for any length of time.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard me say at the beginning, Julie, if you need to walk around and move about, if you need to go to the toilet or whatever, that's absolutely fine.
Brill.
Please don't feel you have to sit there staring at a screen for, you know, the length of time that we've got.
Brill.
Feel free to move about and do whatever you need to do. So I'll just put everybody on mute. She says, looking where that button is, mute all. Okay. So I'm going to try and share with you as well a screen that helps us to guide us through what we're talking about tonight. And with this equip training that we're doing today, obviously we'd normally have this kind of training in our groups and in our sessions, obviously round a table, showing you how to set the table out, how to decorate things and whatever. So with the equip training, it would be distinctly different if we weren't in lockdown. So at the moment, can you see the screen that says Temple Spa equipped? Give me a little thumbs up. Yeah. So this will just guide us through so I don't ramble on too much and take up too much of your time. We should be finished round about probably 8:15, 8:30. So I'll try to be as concise as I can and help you. If we run over slightly, I apologize, but normally this session can take up to 3 hours. So I'm trying to condense it a little bit. So this is the training called Equip, and this is basically talking you through every product that you've got in your brand new starter kit. How to have the best class that you can have, how you prepare for your class, what you say in the class, and how you do your customer care and your aftercare from the classes as well. Now, obviously in lockdown, our classes look very different. And if you haven't done Induct yet, have a little look. I did some Induct the other day, and it was primarily about the different kind of classes that you can have during lockdown, like a Facebook event, a WhatsApp group, a Zoom class, FaceTime, that sort of thing. And I've recorded the Zoom session that we did, and I've popped it on the Northeast Training Facebook page. So have a little look on there about sort of the different classes that you can do. But at the moment, you might be finding with you being brand new that you maybe don't have a range of clients and customers who, as we found, are not quite adapt at Facebook, WhatsApp, Zoom, you know, those sort of things. And they're like, oh, I don't know what to do. So it may be that you be the host to begin with and host your own event and your own class online, however, you know, big or small that may be. And I think I'm just going to move my chair. That's better, sorry. And I think actually at the moment, my classes that I've done during lockdown have been me being the host, inviting some of my friends to find me on Facebook at 8 o'clock on Friday night, and I'm going to talk you through this facial. And that's worked quite well, giving them product knowledge and then sort of describing a collection or something like that. But what we are looking for at this moment in time is not just relying on ourselves to get everything organised all the time. We are looking for some of our friends, family, maybe our hairdresser, you know, or our nail technician or whatever, to say, do you know what, I've got a bunch of girls and boys who can sit together at the same time, and can you tell us all about Temple Spa and talk us through a class? Now, ordinarily, you'd have 6 to 8 guests who would all know why they're going to be there. So normally the Spa to Go world would be in somebody's front room. You'd replicate those smells, the textures, the ambience of a Temple Spa, and you'd be spritzing the room with your quietude, you'd have your candles lit, and you'd create that spa experience. Now, obviously, during lockdown, unless you're doing that with people who live in your home, and that's a good place to start, actually, you say, right, everybody in the front room, 6 o'clock, I'm going to practice on you. Then you're going to have your friends and family and clients who are going to be in London, Scotland, Middlesbrough, where, you know, wherever they are, and they can all come together at the same time. So a bit of a family reunion is a great place to start, and sort of contact them and say, do you know, I've just started my own business. I'm a Spa2Go consultant, and I'd love to share with you the experience of a spa facial, and I'm going to replicate everything that you'd have in a Temple spa. And this minimum price for this, if you were to go to a Temple spa, is somewhere around about the £75–80 mark, and I'm going to do this for you for free. And what you might think is, well, how are they going to get all of these beautiful products, you know, and experience them if we can't be with them physically? So what some of the consultants are doing is they're going to decant some of the products into little sample pots, pop them in a little jiffy bag and pop them in the post to their friends and family, and say, open that bag at whatever time it is, at 7 o'clock, and I'm going to sit on Zoom or FaceTime or whichever thing you're using, and I'm going to talk you through how to cleanse, tone, moisturize, refresh, revive your skin, be ready for bed or ready for the day or whatever it is, and we're going to do it all together in real time. And they are incredibly successful classes. Now, if you were thinking, oh, that's a lot of organising, the best way to organise that, we do have a digital version of this, and it's somewhere on the hub and on our Lineage Facebook page. Is it takes a little bit of organising to organise a Zoom Spa2Go class. So the first step with that is you would give them what's your skin telling you. So in your kit, you will have your skin therapy sheet. Now, in your Spa2Go world, all your guests would be sitting around a table or in somebody's front room or in the conservatory or in the back garden in the summer, a glass of Prosecco, and each customer would get one of these sheets, and you would guide them through the little questions. Now, because we can't be there in real time, we can send them a digital format of this in the post, or take a picture of it and click it and send it to them in a photograph. And we would ask them to have a little look and let us know what their skin's telling them. And then it's really easy. Whatever they've ticked, you get a little code at the bottom, in the bottom corner, that tells you if you've ticked many of this, you are this, dry skin, combination, whatever. And then it's really easy, because then all you do is you'd send them the exact samples of what their skin needs. So if you had combination skin, you'd be sending them the Moisture2Go moisturizer. You wouldn't need to send them the Moisture Matte, the Be Still. You wouldn't need to send samples of absolutely everything. So you're probably looking at sending maybe 5 or 6 little pots through the post. And then obviously you can send them a digital format of this as well. You can ask them to, or you can send this in the post with your samples. It's up to you. You'd ask them at 7 o'clock on Friday night, we're all going to get together, we've all got our samples, we're going to open our pot, and I'm going to talk you through, tick off what we're using so you can remember. And we call this a prescription for the skin. So this is what they're going to keep forever and a day. And if the babies don't want to treat themselves to something that time, then they might want to treat themselves to something another time. And they've got that information ready and handy. Now, in there as well, there's a little spot that says your consultant is. Always make sure, even if you just write it on with a piece of a pen or whatever, if you are lucky enough to print off some stickers, stick a sticker on. So always have your name and your number on there, and maybe your email address if you prefer email communications, but also pop on your website address. Now, the reason I say that is that we've had more people trawling on our website at the moment and popping little orders on. As you can tell, people are bored around about 10 o'clock at night, having a glass of wine, what can I order? So if they know that you are available 24/7 because your website's always open, and they know where to find you, they're not going to pop on templespa.com, they're going to pop on templespa.com/Anita Lowther, and then obviously you'd get the sale for that, and obviously you'd get the commission for that. So always make sure you've got that information on there. Then obviously they've got all of that there. They can tick off what they've used, and then you can obviously present collections at the end of your Zoom class or FaceTime, and I'll talk you through that as well. So you can see, doing a class like this, your clients are going to get the smells, the textures, that, oh, this is lovely, oh, that's gorgeous, oh, look at my skin, get in the mirrors and whatever, as if you were sitting there with them in your replicated spa environment in your home. So it does take a little bit of organising, and it may be that you send out the skin questionnaire first, then that comes back, then you send the sample pots, you've arranged a time, you all get together, and then you can deliver the beautiful class. So what I would say is, in this time, your preparation for your host is really quite important. And what I've found is that having a little WhatsApp group or a little texting group or whatever of the people who are going to attend this beautiful Zoom class, so that you've got them all in one place at one time, and if you send out a message, they're all going to get it at the same time. If there's any questions, then they can all hear the answers as well at the same time. And if you find that this feels a little bit overwhelming, then what your managers will do is they will be there to help you for your, what we call your launch class. Now, normally in the real world, your manager would come with you to your launch class, if that was in your home or your friend's home or whatever, and they'd be there to do a little Laurel and Hardy act together to deliver the beautiful class. So in the virtual world, your manager is going to be there in your little WhatsApp group, helping you to answer some of the questions of the skincare that maybe you don't know the answers to yet. And also on the night when it's the actual virtual Zoom class, your manager can be there going, hi, oh, this is lovely, blah, blah, blah. And just that little fly on the wall type of thing, little supporting network to make sure that, you know, those fears and anxieties are at least alleviated a little bit. If you're happy to just rock with it and go, and you think, right, do or die, it's now or never, and you don't need that support, that's totally up to you. But if you feel like you want that, then that's also there. So your host is going to be key to this. So it's generally somebody who you know quite well. That's going to be probably the first person. So it might be like for Anita, you might ask Jo to be the first person to say, right, let's get a few girls together, and, you know, 4 or 5, 6 girls, and I'll do the rest. And let's just have a little reunion, catch up, glass of Prosecco, do a facial together. Have that little group, texting and answering, and then keep in touch with your host. You know, keep ringing them and saying, how do you feel about this? Are you okay with Zoom? Have you got this sorted? Have the little samples arrived yet? Those sort of things. And then also maybe ask your host as well, what sort of host gift is she hoping to get from this? Because even though we're not delivering the Spa to Go experience in somebody's home, hopefully the sales will still be enough that you can get the host gift for the person who's helped you to get all these people together at the same time, so you can do your little magic. And speaking to your host and sort of saying to them, you know, what host gift had you got in mind? Tasty Temp Spa is really lovely. We've got the little Lebanon minis, you know, of all the little hero products. And just keeping that in mind so that they keep their friends and family kind of prompted. Don't forget to turn up, you know. Anita's got all this ready and sorted. Now, normally in the Spa to Go world, we'd make sure that we arrive in plenty of time, and that we'd set up and we'd have all our gorgeous products set out on the table or around the telly if you're in somebody's little front room. But the beauty of the virtual classes, 9 times out of 10, you're sat in your own bedroom or your own front room, so you don't have to go anywhere. And you know, basically you kind of like put your little magic pin on and maybe put a different top on. Who knows what you're wearing underneath? Do you know what I mean? I'm not advocating that, by the way. But yeah, so you'd make sure that perhaps half an hour before the Zoom class was due to start, you know, message your host or ring your host and say, I'm so looking forward to seeing you in half an hour. I've got everything ready. Now, in that prep for that class to happen, and you've got the Zoom class happening, in your little WhatsApp group, what I've tended to do is send pictures into that group of what I've set up. So, oh, here we are, Julie. I've just got everything ready. I've lit my candle. I've got my sprays ready. And it just shows that you are professional. You are designating some space in your home that is where you are going to deliver and create this lovely spa for your guests, albeit a virtual world. Now, again, normally you would be telling a host, keep your refreshments to a minimum. I don't want Tabasco flavoured crisps going on people's faces. I'll give you the nod when it's time for refreshments. Just a glass of water at the table is enough. If you want to serve Prosecco, that's up to you. And you'd sort of, you know, talk about that. Also, I'd be thinking about making sure in your Spa to Go world, particularly nowadays, that everybody who comes to the spa in somebody's home is they wash their hands. And 9 times out of 10, what I tend to do now is take my Temple Spa soap and hand lotion so that they get an experience of the soap and the hand lotion. Sometimes as well, I have heard Liz, who's our owner of the company, that she actually does take her own towel as well, simply because when she did an experience once in somebody's home and everybody was out in the background washing their hands and she's lighting the candle and getting ready and whatever, and somebody brought the towel through and they'd all been drying their hands on the dog towel. So that wasn't really nice. Yeah. So she makes sure that she takes her own hand lotion, washing lotion and a towel. And it just gives that kind of professional etiquette of I'm creating this space for you. Now, obviously in the Spa to Go world, in your virtual world, it'd be lovely to be able to set a place setting ready, take a photograph of it, pop that into the WhatsApp group and say, I've got all my I've got a place setting ready, I'm ready for the Zoom class. And then reminding the girls and boys who are coming to the Zoom session, have you got a hairband? Have you got a little mirror? Have you got a pen? And these are the things you're going to need to have a fabulous little session, and your little jiffy pack with all your bits inside, you know, just building that excitement and creating that spa space, I think is really important, particularly when they can't see it and smell it. So that's quite important. So the other thing that I make sure is that I send pictures, and again, if you go on the Temple Spa our lineage Facebook page and whatever, I think Katie Watkins has actually set up labeled little groups for photographs. So if you want the host gifts, bang, they're in one group. If you want the moisturizers, they're in another one. So if you're looking for photographs of all these different things, the managers and Aspire managers have tried really hard to make it as easy as we can for you new consultants to not have to sit and try and get the lighting right and take a lovely photograph of this and it looks loads of pants when you send it. The beautiful professional assets are actually already available for you. So again, just reminding your host which gift you want to go for and helping them to get that. So what I would do is I would make sure that between now and doing your first Zoom class, just get as familiar as you can with product knowledge. In your kit, you've got a big, thick manual, the A to Z. I am rubbish at remembering the ingredients. I really can't remember what's in what. But what I do try and remember is maybe one ingredient, but I do try and remember what this product is going to do for you, you know. So, you know, double cream, nice and thick. It's going to hydrate your skin. It's going to moisturize your skin, da, 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 da. So I try and think about what it's going to do rather than what's inside it. Now, there are some other consultants who have enormous knowledge and memory to know that it contains rose oil and echinacea and da da da. I haven't got a clue. Do you know what I mean? So don't worry and concern yourself about knowing everything about everything. And in the first few classes, because you're going to do them from home, you can have as much stuff set around you, like I've got tonight, all over my bed, yeah? You can have as much stuff all around you to help you and prompt you and, oh yeah, I was going to say this and I was going to say that and this has got that. And your customers and clients haven't got a clue. So you look like the most rehearsed and professional consultant. And you can also go on the hub and find all the script of the your skin therapy class. So you could actually have it on your screen and not share it with your customers. So you could literally read it off and not have to worry at all about remembering it. Because in the Spartago world, when we're in somebody's home and they've opened up their home to us, we would be hanging on to our laminated skin therapy crib sheet within an inch of our lives, yeah? And I remember holding on to this, and still do. And so now we're going to start with blah, 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 and this contains such and such, and it does that. Because I can't hold that much information in my head. So we hang on to that. So you can have that with you in your Zoom world, or you can have it on the screen and you can literally just read it all off. So I think in terms of setting up, you can do really lovely job in terms of creating that atmosphere. Share that with your customers, encourage them to do the same with whatever they've got. So they might not have this Yester Forever candle, but they might have a candle. And it might be nice to say, you know, light a candle and, you know, create some lovely comfy space. Come in your pajamas if you want to, you know, if you want to kick back and relax. So when we talk about the beautiful class, it generally lasts about 2 hours. Now my Zoom classes are lasting the lot shorter because we've already done the skin analysis. We've already done let's choose your products. We've already given them what they need. So that element has been taken out of the main bit. So we tend to get down to business straight away. And so what I tend to do is introduce myself like we did in the beginning. And, you know, Penny from Temple Spa, a little bit about me, a little bit about the business, who our owners are, how long it's been around, where we can find Temple Spa, you know, it's in Harrods, all of that sort of thing, just to give a little bit of background to it. But in the Spa to Go world, I find that people, they're sitting and chatting and getting settled in and coming to the table and one thing another. You, as the consultant, have to be a master of ceremonies. You've got to conduct and almost direct people. You know, I know some of the lovely ladies who are with us tonight, like my good friend Anita, who's been a customer of mine for a long time. She will agree that, you know, that right, 3, 2, 1, back in the room, as we're chit-chattering. And you find your own way with that, about making a prompt start and so on. The beauty of your digital classes is that there is a start, you know, they're all coming to the same place at the same time, click and go, and right, we're ready. Are we all ready? Have we got the technical issues sorted out? Right, here we are. My name is Amy, I'm from Temple Spa, and we're about to begin our skin therapy class. And it becomes very tight to timings, and I think there's not a lot of room for waffle and people wandering off to go and have a cigarette or renew the Prosecco, or do you know what I mean? It tends to be quite structured. So the main part of your class is going to be the product experience. And when you've got the little pops and samples and things like that, obviously it's quite expensive to send everybody a little spatula through the post, and I personally feel that's not very eco-friendly, sending our plastic spatulas through the post. So you could tell them to have some little cotton buds or something like that handy, just to scoop out their little pops so that they can get the product out on the back of their hand or whatever it is and onto their face, which seems to be a little bit easier and more cost effective for yourself. So you'd be talking through the experience as you go, and at the end of the facial, you'd obviously do your collections. So I would be thinking about, we've talked about those, I would be thinking about the first few people that you invite to your Zoom class, have a mixture of those who are familiar with Temple Spa and those who are not. And if you've got some who are familiar, they might say, do you know what, Julie, don't send me any samples because I've got my cleanser, my toner, my moisturiser. I'll just sit with all my kit in front of me, which is great because that saves you a little bit of time and money in sending out samples. But it's lovely to share that, oh, wow, my face feels lovely, with the total newbies, and having that real wow factor is great to share. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk you through some of the cleansers that Temple Spa do. And again, a lot of this is already in your manual, so I'll just try and give you snippets of what the cleansers are. So if you were to go down your crib sheet, the first one you come to is the Go Easy, which is the eye makeup remover. Now, this is a relatively new product with Temple Spa, and it's a blended product of two separate things that they used to do. They used to do Eyes Wide Open, which is like a cooling lotion for your eyes, and they used to do Go Easy, which was the eye makeup remover. And that was £16 each for, you know, the two bottles. So they've reformulated it, stuck it in one, called it Easy on the Eyes, and it's a fab eye makeup remover. But also it's great, and I've used mine today repeatedly, for itchy eyes, hay fever, you know, when your eyes get heavy and tired, or you get puffiness under your eyes. So it's an absolute all-rounder. And also, if you've got lots of clients who are treating themselves to a collection, and maybe they've got loads of toner or something already, in your collections, you can swap your toner for your Easy on the Eye. So that makes a nice little swap. So I would always apply your Easy on the Eye on some dampened cotton pads. Now, what I tend to do is save any Temple Spa jars that have had duvet in them or sugar buff or something, clean them all out and put my dampened cotton pads inside there. Saves me having to buy loads of little pots and things, and they're a great little size. And it's also another little, this is a treat from Temple Spa, this is called duvet, and you know, it just gives another product that you can talk about. So dampen down your cotton pads, and you would just spritz your I was going to call it Go Easy on the Eye onto your cotton pad, and you'd encourage your clients to slip them on their eyes like that and just press them into the lash line. And then you'd have your lovely repose music in the background, Repose Suite off iTunes, and just give them a few moments, inhale the gorgeous smells, have the quietude spray, sitting back and relaxing, and then lift the cotton pad off, and you see your mascara is straight away onto the pad. No scratching, no rubbing, and so on. And again, if you've got boys and girls in your class, and perhaps the boys haven't got mascara on, they can use that as a cooling product. And if you've got people who don't want to take their eye makeup off, and you'll be surprised some people don't, you can fold it into a little half moon with your Easy on the Eye on, and then just pop it underneath your eye to just act as another beautiful product to take the puffiness down from under your eye as well, which is fab. So that's the Go Easy. Now we've got on the next one on your sheet is the In the Beginning. Now I always pop a little bit of in the beginning if on the back of their hand. I don't tend to use this as a part of their cleansing routine. And the reason being is I like to do other classes that are based around my in the beginning and so on. But I like to have them have a little taste of it, so that if they wanted to upgrade their cleanser from their normal cleanser, say Way to Go, and they wanted to treat themselves to a collection, they could swap out their normal cleanser and upgrade to in the beginning, and that's just an additional £9 to upgrade. So it's good to show them the in the beginning. And I don't know where Louise Marr is, but she's like the wizard of getting people to upgrade collections. So in the beginning is a cleansing melt, and it's double blended. And when it's heated and cooled twice, it creates little tiny, I wish you could smell this. I wish we had smell-o-vision. And it's got in it little tiny crystals. Now I get them to put in the back of their hand, and when you rub it onto their hand and they can feel it, they'll feel the little crystals just to say melting away. And then it smooths into this lovely oily texture. And then they can feel it sweeping around and leave it on there, massage it in. And then I normally get them to, has somebody got their microphone on? There, it's all right. And then I normally get them to get their cotton pad and just sweep that off the back of their hand and look at the cotton pad, which is covered in bits and bobs, and then feel the back of their hand, how silky smooth it is. And then I talk about, look at the difference in your hands, nice clean hand, dirty hand, you know, actually you can see a nice change there. And how smooth it feels, absolutely feel. The smell of the olive oil, the jojoba, the lavender, all of that in there, and it's going to leave your skin beautifully polished and cleansed, taking off any of the debris. I also talk about in the beginning being great for a double cleanse. So at the end of the day, if you're a makeup user, or you've maybe been out in the garden quite a bit and you've got a bit of dirt and things on your face, you could use your in the beginning first to get off all the debris off your face. Use a nice hot cloth and take it all off, and then use your normal cleanser, like your Be Gone or your Good to Go. So in the beginning, it's a great little cleanser. It's also fab to have as a once a week treat as well. So you could use it as a mask. So you could pop it on, drop the lid. You could pop it on and leave it on for 10-15 minutes to give yourself a real facial. It's like a facial in a jar, and you'd feel like you'd had a real spa experience in the comfort of your own home. I love in the beginning. It's one of my favorite products. So then they know which cleanser they've got. And what some people are doing is on their little sample pots, they're making stickers or writing on the top, you know, Be Gone or Good to Go, whatever. And they'd have their little pots ready. Or in the Spa to Go world, you'd be saying, oh, Alicia, you have ticked on your sheet that you are, you know, oily skin or whatever. So I'm going to give you the Way to Go. And then you'd give them a little bit of Way to Go on the back of their hand. And the customers and clients would be sitting around, would pick up the product and apply it to their own faces, and all have a little mirror as well handy so they can see what they're doing. Obviously in the virtual version of the class, they've got their little pots. If you've not got stickers or you can't print off the stickers and whatever, what some people are doing is doing a little code, and they're getting like a permanent marker and putting 1 dot on the cleanser, 2 dots on the moisturizer, 3 dots on the mask, and just saying, right, now find your pot with number 1 on, you know, and everyone gets out number 1 pot, and that's your cleanser. and maybe unmuting the Zoom and sort of saying, oh, you know, how does that feel, Anita? Oh, you've got good to go, or whatever. And obviously having those notes about your customers and what you've sent them, that's quite important, so that they think that you are interested in them, and they know that you are keen for them to get the right prescription for their skin. So their skin's going to be glowing and gorgeous and fabulous at the end of their facial. So the first cleanser that I'm going to describe is Be Gone. Now, this is a sensitive cleanser. It's in a really big tub. So people think they're getting a lot for their money with this. And all the cleansers are £21 when you treat yourself to them individually without a collection. Now, Be Gone lacks a fragrance. It doesn't have any fragrance at all because of its sensitive nature. And you can see it's really an elasticy cleanser. So it's quite tacky. I'll show you in the back of my hand. So it's quite tacky. You can see how elasticy that is there. And so what that's going to do is it's going to stick in the back of your pores, in your pores on your face, and it's going to go into those pores, and it's going to be sucked out. So it's going to make sure that you're going to get all of that debris out of your face, but it's going to do it in a nice, gentle way. You can see how stringy that is. And it's very, very cooling. So if you've got skin that's hypersensitive, or you are maybe susceptible to a little bit of overdone the sun, this will really help to cool and soothe your face. And it's going to help to reduce any of that sensitivity, and also cleanse your skin within an inch of its life, basically, because it's just absolutely lovely. And that's more for your sensitive skin. Good to Go. Now, this is really one of the popular ones, I think, for the guys, because it's not a real fussy one. So Good to Go is our foaming cleanser, which is for normal skin. And it's so easy to use. What a lot of people do is they'll do it in the shower. So you can be washing your hair, doing all your bits and bobs, and whack this on your hands, rub it in your face, stick your face under the shower, and take it all off. Sorry, the Be Gone one is easy enough to take off with either a hot cloth or your dampened cotton pads. Again, just sweep it across your face. So you're Good to Go is a pump dispenser. I would say you probably need one pump, and you get all of that. It's a cleansing foam, and you can see how foamy it is and beautiful, and it just rubs into your face. It smells really fresh. It smells kind of a bit citrusy, a bit sort of like Mediterranean, you know, fruits and things like that. And you can see that little tiny pump is just washing the whole of my hands there. I would say your Good to Go foaming cleanser is one of the ones that, for me, I take on holiday, because you sometimes tend to find when you're on holiday that the water is slightly different abroad. And any of your soaps and, you know, cleansing bars and things like that don't foam up. You do get a nice foam up with the Good to Go, so it'll just out the pump. So that's for your normal skin. I think as well for guys, they quite like it because it doesn't dry out their face. So if you're guys who are shaving, or maybe it's got a little bit of stubble and sometimes your face can be a bit tight, it really does help to relax the face and again soothe the face, and it won't dry it out. And it's also, although it's creamy, it's still quite lightweight, so it's not going to weigh your skin down, and you feel like you've had a really good clean. So you can rinse that off under the shower, or a hot cloth, or just your dampened cotton pads. So that's your Good to Go. Dual Act is fab. This is more for the combination skin, and it's dual in purpose, that it can be applied on a wet face or a dry face. You again, product, when you are in the Spa to Go world and all your customers are sat there, don't give them too much. And it's not that you're being mean, it's that a little tiny bit goes a long way. And it really is one of our unique selling points about Temple Spa. So I would be putting kind of like, maybe it's just a sort of a 5-pence size piece on the back of their hand that they would then use to pop on their face. Now, if they prefer to apply it wet, then I always have a little bottle, and you can get these from like Wilko's or something like that, or an old toner bottle if you've got one of those. Rinse it out and just put tap water in it. And then what they can do is just spritz their face with the water, and then they can apply it if they want it onto their dampened face, which is great. Or if they want to try it in dry, just a nice dry face, pop it on, rub it all in, hot cloth to take it off, or their cotton pads again. So that's your Dulact. Now, Dulact is for combination skin because it really does help to settle the skin if you've got an overproducing part to the face, or maybe it's a part of the face that's quite dry. So it really will help to settle any of that unevenness within the face. And it smells really nice, kind of like cucumbery smell. It's really good. It's what we call our telepathic performer. So it kind of senses your face and it nourishes one part that needs it, and it'll help to dry out that place that's maybe a little bit too oily. So the way to go cleanser is our one for oily skin. And again, guys quite like this because it's in a blue container. Boys like things in blue. I don't know why, it's just the way it is. And this is a gel wash. So it kind of reminds them of their gel, shaving gel, you know? So they quite like this. And again, tiny little bit on the back of your hand. And the smell of this one, and again, when you're doing your Zoom classes, you'll need to maybe describe the smell a little bit more than you would do in the Spa to Go world. So this is more of a sort of fresh linen kind of smell. It's and the texture, obviously with it being gel, is very different. It's sort of slippy texture, and it kind of goes on the face like that. And again, you can splash your face with water. So you can do it in the shower or in the bath, and you just rub it all over. Hot cloth, take it off, or your dampened cotton pads. Now this one has got a complex in it called Sebederm, a Sebederm complex, and that's designed to help that overproduction of the oily areas. So a lot of our teenagers maybe got that oily under the hair area, T-zone area. They might be struggling with some breakouts, maybe it's even, you know, sort of acne areas as well, if they're getting too much oil production. So Way to Go will really help to settle and calm that. And it's also got in it pomegranate and bergamot, and that just gives it that lovely kind of fresh smell to it as well, which people quite like. So you'd be telling them how to use their cleansers, and obviously they've got them in their little pots ready, or you describe the cleansers in your class on your face. Now, what I would say is, in your kit, you've got, is it half a dozen or 8 or whatever it is, of those black face cloths, haven't you? Well, I would make a little investment when we get out of lockdown and buy yourself probably 8 more, okay? You can go to places like, you know, Home Bargains or whatever, get them 50 pence or something. Don't have to be black, can be any colour you want. Because realistically, you're going to need 2 cloths per person, really. 1 to take off their cleanser if they want to use the hot cloth, and 1 for their mask. So maybe just get yourself some more flannels. But I would also say, in the Zoom world, encourage your Zoom customers to have a hot cloth ready. Now, the way they can do that is they can run their cloth underneath the hot tap, wring it out, and they can keep it in like a little sandwich, you know, thermal sandwich bag, and keep it hot for a little bit. Or some people have been getting their cloth ready, and you know those hot mug cups that you have for having your hot drink in? That's like a little thermal flask. So stuffing the little hot cloth in there and put the lid on, ready for their little Zoom class. So they're trying to recreate as much as they can that spa experience in the virtual world. And also explain to them about why we need to cleanse. I tend to have my classes with a bit of a question and answer, and I tend to sort of do it as, why do you think we do this, and da 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 da. And sometimes I have little bars of chocolate or something like that, and hand them out as little mini prizes and daft things, rather than me being stood there all kind of blah 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 blah. And even on your Zoom classes, you can be, right, I'm going to unmute this part of the class, and I'm going to ask you, right, what was key ingredient in Be Gone? Who was listening? And just do a bit of getting people involved. So you can pop on the hub and you can see all this information is in our hub, and it's under all about the different cleansers and things. It's under skin therapy. I think it's important information, or downloads or something like that. It's all on there, and it'll tell you all about this. And equally, it's all on your crib sheet. So don't worry about that. Now, in the real world, you might find that some of your customers and clients want to have a try of different cleansers. And you might actually be saying, well, try some on your arm. Which one do you prefer? If they're not quite decided if they're a normal skin or a combination skin. Zoom world, it's going to be different. This is what you've got. This is what you're going to do. So after your cleanser, I normally put a bit of toning essence on as well. On your crib sheet, it doesn't tell you to do toning essence till after your mask, but I tend to find if people like a little bit of cleanser maybe left on their face or something, if they haven't quite got it all off, use your toning essence just to spritz across their face, use the dampened cotton pad to sweep it off, and then they've got a clean face ready for the masks. Now, getting your toning essence to your customers to try in their home facial poses a little bit of a challenge. And there's one or two ways that I found is quite good. One, you can spritz it on a couple of dampened cotton pads, or maybe 2 or 4 little cotton pads. Put them in a little tiny sandwich bag, seal them up, and put them in your little jiffy bag to send to them. Or you can get on Amazon little tiny pump dispensers to put the toning essence in that they can spritz onto their face or whatever. And you can obviously get a little syringe and get it out of your toner and pop it in the little and send it to them. It's up to you. If you think, I can't be chewed on with that, right? And you say, right, if you've got a toner, any toner at home, this is where we're going to use your toner. And then you'd be describing to them, our toning essence is a lovely little Mediterranean fruit salad, spritz up your face, and you'd be describing this. And they can use their own toner from home, or you can say, if you haven't got a toner, just use dampened cotton pads, So it's completely up to you, and I appreciate that poses a little bit of a challenge getting that to our customers. So the masks. Now, this is where really, in a Spartago class, I normally describe all of the masks and then say, right, who wants this one? Who wants that one? Who wants, we can do 2, put some here, some there. In the Zoom world of it, they'll have already picked which one they want. So 9 times out of 10, they're going to go for purification, the clay sea algae one, because that smells like you've been to a spa, basically. So when we go down our crib sheet, the first one we come to is Truffle-esque, and that's another really popular one. Now, you girls are really lucky because you've got this in your skin therapy kit. Well, I think when we started, that wasn't an option to have that in your kit. So the golden mask is, again, another really popular mask to have. And it's iridescent, filled with micronized diamonds, gold, silk, and obviously the truffles. And gold Truffle-esque is all about hydration. Hydration, anti-aging, and it's really about firming and plumping the skin. And you tend to find, doesn't matter what age you are, what age your customers are, they'll love a little go of Truffle-esque. So that's quite a popular one. And in the class collection, there is an option to upgrade your collection. If you're going for your super starter collection, or It's All About Me, you can have the mask can be substituted for a truffle-esque mask and just pay the little bit of a difference. So that's truffle-esque mask. Now your quench mask is again a deeply hydrating one, and its smell is gorgeous. It's got roses in it, and the roses are really good at hydrating the skin. And I've got a lot of my customers who love this rejuvenating mask, and they pop it on before bedtime and they sleep in it and just let it all soak in. And when they wake up in the morning, their skin is just soft as silk, really hydrated, beautiful and firm, and ready for the day. It really does do what it says. If you've got thirsty skin, it's going to really help to hydrate the skin, and it's lovely. Now that's super duper as well if you've been overdoing the sunshine, because it's really going to hydrate your skin. So that's quench. Be Calm is exactly what it says on the tin, and I've been sneaking quite a lot of this one. You can see it's nearly gone, look. Be Calm's lovely if you've had a little bit of an irritation on your face, sensitivity, a little bit of redness to the face, and again, if you've overdone the sunshine, Be Calm's going to, cool and soothe the skin. This is mostly for your sensitive skin. So if your skin's a little bit troubled, or if you've got a client who's really not sure what to do for masks, pop them that one to have a try of. And again, ask them during the Zoom class or in your Spartago world, why do we use masks? Who uses a mask? What do we need a mask for? How many times do we use a mask? And, really get some sort of, interaction and conversation during the treatment. And another mask, and again, is that purification we were talking about earlier, which is that seaweed, sea algae, deep clay, sea mud. Smells like a spa. If you've been and had a facial and you've had this, your skin is just really purified, and a lot of those bits of debris and any toxins that are in the skin are really hoovered out. In fact, we call it the Dyson for the skin. It really does clean your skin. So the first few masks that we described, with the truffle-esque, the quench and the Be Calm, they're all about putting something back into your skin, so hydrating the skin. The next three masks, the purification, the breakfast smoothie and the power breakfast, they're all about taking things out of the skin. And what I find is my customers will probably have one of each of these masks at some point throughout the year, whether they've been on special offer or they just wanted to treat themselves to something. Because at different points in the year, different types of weather, different types of their hormonal cycles, different parts of their lives, stresses and strains that are coming around, they want a mask to do something different. So with your masks, it's not just a case of buy one and that's the one I use forever. You really can dip in and out and use, different masks for different reasons. And you can combine masks. And there's a lovely, I think, a little clip on Facebook at the moment on Temple Spa Facebook page about multi-masking, using different masks on different parts for different reasons. So the next two I'm going to describe are kind of sister products. They're kind of related. So your power breakfast, is a really thick, gloopy mask. And I would always say spritz their face first with water, just dampen it down before they apply this. And it's a real thick, gloopy mask. Smells beautiful, really fresh. And it's got in it muesli and oats, strawberries and honey. And it really is a healthy breakfast in a jar. and it's going to help to exfoliate the skin, take away any dead skin cells, but it's also going to help to polish the skin as well, so that when you apply all your other products, you're going to have nice smooth skin. So that's lovely if you've maybe forgotten to take your makeup off once, or you've been out in the garden and you think, oh God, my skin's just really needing this. That's a lovely one, Power Breakfast. If you find that that's maybe a bit too thick for some of your customers, then the breakfast smoothie is exactly that. It's the Power Breakfast blended down in a smoothie version. Now, this is gentle enough to use every day or every other day, really, almost as a cleanser. And a lot of my young clients who are around about sort of the 12, 13 mark, who are just starting to use makeup, just starting to get a skincare routine, they use this every other day just to keep the little spots at bay, really. And that's a nice little exfoliator. And again, you can leave that on 20 minutes as your mask treatment. Now, in your spa to go, you'd be showing them the masks. Who wants this one? Who wants that one? And you pop the masks on, and you probably leave them on for about maybe 10 or 15 minutes in your spa to go class and in your Zoom class. And during that time, there's a couple of things you can do. You can talk about the opportunity of doing what you do, who loves to do what you do, who loves to share the products, who'd love to be me, you know. Or you could talk about the opportunity to have a class with you. You could talk about the opportunity of getting the host gifts as well, while the mask's on doing their magic. You could show them through your Temple Spa little minis and talk through some of those. This one does this one does that, and explain about how a lot of the products that are available that you've tried tonight are all in this little bag, and how they can get that. Or during the mask time, you can just give them a little bit of quiet time. And this is the time I sometimes do some mindfulness, some very light meditation, just talking through, listen to the beautiful Repose Suite, and just having some real deep breathing, some lovely relaxation, and using about that 10 minutes just to totally chill out. So you can choose what you want to do during the mask time. And then get your hot cloths again, pop them on your face. Oh, feel the heat. Let the heat warm the mask, and do that. Really penetrate the mask into the face and let it do its absolute magic. Sweep the mask off, and then apply your toning essence again, just to make sure that you've got off all your mask. Spritz, 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 and cotton pads, damp cotton pads, and sweep it off. If you've got customers who don't really want to have their toning essence spritz into the face, then pop it onto the cotton pads and then use it like that. It's completely up to them. I'm just watching the time. So Be Strong. We then move on to our Be Strong, which is the serum. So in your kit, you've got Be Strong. There are other serums available that do different things, but this is the one that's kind of like your bread and butter that most people like. And the serum is something you apply before your moisturiser, and it's going to penetrate down to the baby cells, feed them, plump them, so when they come to the top within their little renewal cycle, then they'll be nice and smooth, stronger skin cells, smoother surface, and really be a beautiful, flawless canvas for all the rest of your products and makeup and things like that. So Be Strong. Again, don't give them too much. I would say probably, about that much, probably, like a 5p piece again, maybe something like that, maybe even less, a penny size piece. If their face is particularly dehydrated, and they can't move this around their face before it's all sunk in, then just say, Hannah needs a little bit more. Oh gosh, you really need this in your life because it's soaked right in. I'm just going to put that on my neck actually. Well, I'll rather waste it. So Be Strong is lovely serum. And then we're going to move on to the windows of the soul, which is our eye treatment. And I know in your kit, you were lucky to get the upgraded kit with the I Will Survive patches in. Now, these are on special offer at the moment. So have a little look on Facebook, look on the hub, look at any YouTube videos and whatever of how to use those and how they work. And, you know, really sort of use that as a tool for pulling your collections together as well. And there'll be a little bit of training about that coming up in your little teams as well, to help you with those. But the main bread and butter that I find is your windows of the sole. Now, this is a deeply hydrating eye treatment that's going to remove the dark circles. It's going to reduce puffiness, and it's going to help with any signs of aging. And you need a match head sized piece. And what I tend to do is do it on half of their face first. So I would be like, you know, oh, you can pop it on just on here. Oh, let's look at the difference. Da-da-da-da-da. Obviously, in your Zoom class, it's a little bit trickier to have a little look. Use your ring fingers to tap the product together. And then looking where your orbital bone is, just sort of tap, 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 go back and gather and sweep and move your windows of the sole along like this. Don't go too close to the lash line because it will smooth and move up your face. So you don't want it to go over into your eyes. And then up on the top bone as well, like this. And then also in the little fine lines and wrinkles that you've got, just in the little laughter line area there, just give that a little rub and a smooth. But tell your clients, no dragging, 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 no rub, 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 rubbing. And then the little beauty of this is do a little rain dance over your product to get it activated, help with the circulation to reduce your dark circles, dance all around. And it's actually really nice and calming to do that as well. So that's lovely. And your windows of the sole will really notice a big change within about 5 minutes if you've never ever used any eye treatment. And obviously over time, with that skin renewal cycle, you're going to see a huge change to the eyes as well. Then the other thing in our special attention area is Exalt. And Exalt's the neck gel. And Exalt is applied by, again, it's a really elasticy product with beautiful ingredients. And this one's my own one, so I'll just put my fingers in it. And then you can just pop a little bit on the back of your hand. And again, I always start with a little bit. If they need some more, we can come back and top up. Put your two backs of your hands together and rub them together like this to agitate all the aromatherapy oils. And then just stroking up your neck like this, like a little kitten type motion, and getting all the crepiness, any sagging that you've got going, any lines that you've got going, and give yourself a little chin massage. So that's going to help with that jawline area, and just moving up like so. That's your Exalt. Again, rose oil in there, which is deeply hydrating, and it just smells lovely. And you can give yourself a little hand massage with it when you're finished, which again is going to help with those crepiness on your hands. Now, when you're doing your Zoom class, you've got to decide whether you want to find a way to get to your customers the special attention products as well, or whether you want to leave that until we're in the real world and we can do a whole Spartago class with everything, and you just want to do your Zoom class with just your cleanser, toner, mask and moisturizer and serum. Okay, just 5 things. Keep it simple. Now, I know Helen Wardle says this all the time. Keep it simple, sister. KISS. K-I-S-S. Keep it simple, sister. So cleanser, toner, mask, moisturizer, and serum and moisturizer are probably a good place to start. And then say, oh, when we all get back together again, I can show you the eye treatments and the, whatever. Or you might find you've got customers who want to just say, do you know what, sod it, I'll have the lot and just buy the whole It's All About Me collection. You've got to maybe make that decision yourself about your confidence level and about your experience of the products as well. Now, we're nearly at the end of describing the products and we're just after 8:15. So the next thing on the special attention is our number 1 bestseller ever in Spartago is called Repose. And the equivalent of one every 2 minutes is sold in the UK. So that's how effective it is. That's how popular it is. That's how, when you've tried it once, you just want it in your life forever and a day. Now, this is, I would say, the most popular thing that I am getting questions about and my customers wanting to reorder is Repose. It aids a good night's sleep, fabulous at cooling and soothing your nerves. It's great on your pulse points to just really help you calm yourself down, back of your neck, behind your ears, on your temples, or it's a fabulous aromatherapy nighttime cream. Now, the way that you can apply this is in your Spartago real world, or in somebody's beautiful home and you're doing a beautiful class, I would normally offer them a chance to just have a little smell of this and a little go of this. And I would give them a little bit to put on their fingertips, rub it together, tent it over their nose, and smell and rub it on their wrists, so that they've had a little experience of our beautiful nighttime cream. But I'd be encouraging them to have a go on their face after their serum, their moisturizer that concludes their collection, for their cleanser, their mask, their collection. So I would then move on to describing the moisturizers of choice. If, let's say, you're doing a Zoom class and you'd rather keep it simple, sister, and you'd rather do their prescription cleanser, their toner, their mask that they want, their serum that they want, but you'd rather just do a slumber facial and pop on your Repose, then you can also send them some Repose in the post, and then you're all using Repose for a good night's sleep, ba-di-ba-di-ba, nice deep breaths, get the lavender, pop it on your face, nighty-nighty, off you go. That's really quite a nice, simple, basic video facial to do. But if you've got customers who are, I've used Repose over and over again, I want to have a go at some different moisturisers, then obviously you've got your moisturisers that are bespoke to your skin type. And just in the interest of time, I'll just describe these really quickly. You've got your Moisture Matte, which is for your oily skin. You've got your Be Still, which is more for sensitive skin. You've got your Moisture To Go, which is for your combination skin, and your Double Cream for your dry skin. You've also got your Life Defense, which is your SPF moisturizer. And as I remember, and forgive me if I've got this wrong, with a £65 spend, at the moment, your customers can pop this on for half price, the Life Defense. So it'd only be £19. So every time I'm getting somebody who says, oh, can I have this, this, and this, and it's £65. Oh, did you realise you've just qualified for a half price Life Defense? Oh, have I? Pop that on then. So that's quite good. In the Spartago in somebody's home, what I tend to do is I talk about at the end of the class the skin truffle. Woo, in the beautiful box. And this is a free gift that your host can have, obviously depending on sales and one thing. There's a few little T's and C's, but your host could treat themselves to a £90 face moisturiser for free, just for getting some girls together. And I talk about the skin truffle. Now in my Spartago, I'd be giving them a little sample of skin truffle to put on half of their face, and then their moisturiser of choice to put on the other half of their face. And then that way they get to see skin truffle, normal moisturiser, skin truffle, normal moisturiser. And then nearly all go, oh my goodness me, look at my face with the skin truffle. Oh, I really want one of those. Do I want to spend £90? No, I'll have a class. Yeah. So that's in the Spartago world. Obviously in the Zoom world, it's slightly different. If you want to, you can send them some skin truffle in a little pot to try, which is great. Or you can just stick to the slumber kind of thing with repose, or their normal routine with just their skin prescription moisturizer. So you've got to kind of make a few little decisions about how you want that to go and how simple you want to keep it. But I would also, in the Zoom class, get your box and reveal it and tell them that, you know, hey, you might not have tried this, Kiddie Winkies, but actually you can have this, you know, if you'd like, for free, just by getting a few of your girls together and boys together, and we can have a little go of all of this, and you could get one of those for free. At the end of your class, there's an opportunity, even in the Zoom world, to put your collections together. And this is where, for me to begin with, I felt the most uncomfortable. And in the Spartago world, I was happy that they'd all enjoyed a gorgeous facial. They'd all enjoyed fab time with their friends. They'd all had a nice little drink. They're all going, oh, look at my skin. Oh, it's gorgeous. And then I'd sort of say, well, if you want to treat yourself to anything, here's an order form, and get the order forms back in. And I'd feel really uncomfortable about presenting the collections. However, in your Zoom world and your Spartago world as well, this is where you're helping your customers get the best value for money that they can. They want to be a savvy shopper. They don't want to come to you 1 month to buy a toner and the next month buy a moisturiser and the next month buy a mask. They'll have spent £38 too much. So by letting them know how they can be a savvy shopper and get the best value for money, then they can decide whether they want to go for collection or not, but at least they've got that knowledge about how it's going to work for them. So the collections are all on the back of your Spartago skin therapy class sheet on there. And I would literally be pulling together and saying, oh, right, so Julie, you used your Dulact and your toner and your moisture to go because you had combination skin, and you popped on your purification mask. And did you know, when you treat yourself to all of those, Julie, Temple Smart is going to give you your Be Strong for free. And that's what we call the Super Starter collection. And then there is the Radiance collection as well, which involves our special attention area. And then when you put the two collections together, you've got It's All About Me, and you get everything. Okay. Now, the best thing to do is sit and get all your kit out and practice talking this through and finding your wording, finding your feet. If you go on our Team Wardle Lineage Facebook page, there'll be loads of videos on there from various managers who've said, hi, I'm Lucy Pashley. I'm going to describe the blah, blah, blah collection. And she'll show you, and she's got the language and the da-di-da-di-da. And you can, you know, describe this, and you can do it in your own words, okay? But if your customers don't know that that's a really good way to save money, then they're not going to use that opportunity to do that. I would, in the Zoom world, send them an order form as well. And I would highlight this bit here, which says about, would you like to host your own class? Would you like to be a consultant? And that's quite nice that they get the opportunity to do that. Send them that with their little pack. Or you can say to them after the Zoom class, I've really enjoyed spending time with you. That's all the collection over. That's all of our facial. How are you feeling? Blah, blah, blah. I'm going to be available in that little WhatsApp group that we had to answer any skincare questions, any questions about the product. I'm going to be available for about the next half hour. And if you'd like to place an order, you know, any orders that are placed before, let's say, lunchtime tomorrow, will all be drawn together. And, you know, if you place an order, if you haven't got a host, say you're the host, every order that's done tonight is going to be placed into a draw, and the winner will win a Taste of Temple Spa. And that's quite a nice way to encourage people to place an order. And also you might say, you know, I'm going to be available, and the lovely Julie's been our host for tonight, and I'd love for her to get the Taste of Temple Spa. So any orders that we get tonight are all going to be pulled together for Julie to get the Taste of Temple Spa, if that's what you've decided. And you may find that the people at the Zoom session maybe don't order that night or even the next day. It might be 2-3 days down the line. They're thinking, God, my face feels bloody gorgeous. And they might text you, what was that I had? So again, remembering what you sent them, you know, to say, oh, I think it was the purification mask, wasn't it? That, you know, da-di-da-di-da. And it might be that they just want to order that one thing. And that's lovely. So I'm just going to, that's all of that done, I think. Just double check. And we're just nearly drawing the end of that. Da-di-da-di-da, da-di-da-di-da. Yeah, I think I'm just going to stop sharing that screen now, and I'll just come back to where we are. Right. Oh, who's that? Somebody in the chat. Oh, right. Sorry, Anita, your phone's probably going to die, is it? Right, so that's about all I had to share about our equip. So it's taken just about an hour and a quarter after we've had all the little chit chat and got together. Normally, like I say, that would take about 2.5 hours to go through all of that. So it has been a bit of a whirlwind tour. What I'm going to do is I'm going to unmute everybody and just see if anybody's got any questions that they've got absolutely burning now, that they think, I can't go to sleep if you don't answer me this one. Anybody got any questions? No.
No, thanks.
Are you feeling like...
Sorry, how do you remember?
Go on then.
What products you can substitute for other products?
Yeah, so that is quite tricky, Sonia. So at first, with the Keep It Simple Sister, I didn't used to say, oh, you can upgrade to this or you can do that. I just could not remember that. Yeah, I couldn't remember that in my head. So on the back of your sheet, there's kind of like a little asterisk down the bottom that says you can supplement X, Y, and Z or X, Y, and Z, and it's this much more. Okay?
Yeah.
So that's kind of there for you. And then when you put your orders in as well, and you probably haven't placed an order yet, there'll be all the little products are on the screen, and you can click and add. And then sometimes what I used to do was ring up my customer and say, oh, do you know what, I'm just so new to this, I've just realised, you know, that gold mask that we had, it's only £30 more, do you want that? And they'll go, no, it's all right, thanks. So but then, you know, at least you kind of like had a try. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, just keep it simple, and have a little look. If you get stuck with anything, the best thing to do is contact your manager or the person who sponsored you or whatever, and just ask them. And sometimes what I do now is I'll just say, I'm not sure what the best way is to save you some money on that. Can I ring you back later on or text you back later on? And I'll find out if you've got any more discounts. Yeah. Any more questions, people?
Yeah, sorry. Hello.
Hi, Amy.
The little blue bag that you showed at the end that you can give as sort of a gift if you can get everything going. Yeah. How much do we pay for them? Do you know? Is there like a price, or how do we sort of come across getting them to give out? So as incentives.
In your kit, in your case kit, you've probably got one in a box. Okay,
right.
In a blue, you'll get one in a blue sort of colour like this, and it's a beautiful box. And you can open the door, as it were, and go, wow, look at all this, you know. And the product value is about £75–80. I'll just tip mine out. So you get in it like your little mini R, which is your little soothing balm, your purification, exalt. So you get lots and lots of little minis, and you can see that's a good size. That's probably about a month's worth of, if not more, maybe 6, 7, 8 weeks worth of treatment. So it's a lovely way to introduce them to Temple Spa, and they cost us £11 as a consultant to order and give to your host. Have you had your induct training yet, Amy?
No, not yet.
No.
This is my first day.
Oh, hooray! So your induct training will cover how you order that and how you can sort that out. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Yeah, that's great.
Good question. So really, your customers are going to get 11 little minis, either in tubes or in little tubs, worth about the £75-80, and it only costs you 11. So
it's a great incentive for nurses.
It's a massive incentive. And what I've been doing at the moment is, because I haven't had that many classes, I've been taking orders, putting them together as a class, and then bagging myself one of these, and then using the samples then to give out to other people to say, oh, would you like to try this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So I've used these as my samples rather than my little mini pots.
Yeah.
Which has
great stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Fantastic.
Any more questions? No. So,
what was that called again?
Say that again, sweetheart.
What was that called again? Because I can hear you, but you're just you're frozen, so I can't actually see anything.
It's called Taste of Temple Spa.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's in a box or a bag. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
There are other host gifts available for your Spa to Go classes, but I would say keep it pretty simple. Offer them the Taste of Temple Spa, and the choice is either a box or a bag. And that keeps it really, really simple for you to begin with. And then as your confidence grows, and as you're available to understand, with this many sales, the host could get that. With this many sales, the host could get this. You can then begin to say, well, I'll tell you what, Louise, you've had 3 classes for me already. You must be sick of getting the Taste of Temple Spa, one in a bag, one in a box. Shall we go for the skin tip this time? And then obviously your confidence is growing, your clients' knowledge of the products and everything, and love of the products is just, so they maybe want something different that time, okay? I think that's probably about it then, guys.
Thank you.
I'll be about for the next probably half an hour or so. If you want to write down my number in case you haven't got it, it's 077 and it's 485 51966. That's 077 485 51966. So if you have got any questions, or you're suddenly thinking, oh, if I've said this or whatever, and even over the next few days, if you suddenly think, oh, why didn't you tell me this, or what do we do about that, get in touch with your manager, and hopefully we'll be able to help you. But stay close to the person who's sponsoring you, and that first Zoom class that you do, I would say hop on somebody else's to begin with, see what they do. So the next one that I do, I'll invite you all. Come along, see what see what Nutty Penny does, and just sit and watch. And then the next one you do on your own, get your manager to join you, and then do one by yourself. And before you know it, you're thinking, well, why don't I do one every night? This is great fun, and just give it a go. There's nothing you can do wrong, so just enjoy it. So enjoy the rest of your evening, people. Get a glass of something nice, and one of us sit and watch the telly. It's been great to share this time with you. I'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
you're welcome.
you.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.